We're the proud, we're the free, we're the hope, we're the dreams. We are strong, we are true, yeah, me and you. Oh, we're red, white, and blue. We're red, white, and blue. Red, white, and red, white, and blue. We're red, white, and blue.
Red, white, and blue, that is a fact, especially red and blue today. I'll tell you why. Obviously, it's Red Friday, and we always wear our red on Friday to remember all of our deployed troops and give a shout out to them, but also wearing the blue because this is the weekend. The Army Navy game tomorrow in Baltimore. Can't wait. I'm a big Navy fan, have been since I was a kid. Grandfather in the Navy. Didn't go to the Naval Academy, but served during World War II. And I just came across the very first Army Navy game that I got to watch that I can remember watching on TV with my grandfather, and it was 1972. There was a YouTube clip on it, and I think that was the first time I remember hearing Keith Jackson too announcing the game, and was hooked on it. We were already football fans, born and bred Huskers, from Nebraska and everything. Anyway, so exciting time. Unfortunately, not going to be in Baltimore for the game. That's a bummer. I have to watch it on the tube, but we've been there the last 2 years, 2 or 3 years, and had a great time. A cold time, but great time. So we'll get into that here pretty quick. I promised everybody an update here on our beer, and it's in the tanks. I know that, and we are packaging it this coming week. Um, and I'm waiting on the date. I told them I want the actual date that we're going to package that beer. Anyway, so Preamble's coming back out, and we've got a new online platform that we're going to be working with, a new shipping partner that's got licensing to ship to 45 states and DC. So those of you across the country who want to try the beer or want to drink the beer again, we'll probably be able to ship it to your state. That makes about 5 states that we can't ship to. Sorry about that, man. um, and I'll do a shareholder update email again talking about that. But I did have a conversation with the new shipping partner today, so I'm excited to get that going. That'll be great. And then we've got a new contract brewing partner up in the Pennsylvania area. Now, this is a strong company. They've got about 5 brewing facilities, and they do beer. They do NA beer. A matter of fact, they're a pioneer in the NA beer category, and they have the capability to do a lot of different beverages. So um, we're going to be shifting contract brewing up there. Everything looks good so far for that, and I'm excited to do that. So that's the update on the beer. You're going to see a lot more stuff coming out on Preamble, a lot more marketing out there on social media. It's the official beer of freedom, man. So I'm going to bring Facebook up here. I know you'll pop on gradually, but I want to get Facebook up and rolling here because I want to see your comments Army Navy game. I'm so excited. You have no idea. Um, Super excited. And I'll get into the prediction and all that kind of stuff. We'll talk about the Army Navy game here in a few. All right, let me bring these comments up. There we go. All right. Fun time with you guys. Army and Navy game. Always a good time with everyone on Facebook and X and all that stuff. Let me bring up LinkedIn here too. Okay. Anyway, tomorrow, Baltimore. Wow. What is it? The 163rd Army Navy game? Something like that. Unbelievable. All right, so it looks like Army goes in at 6-5, Navy's 9-2, and they have been a offensive machine all season, pretty much. Navy has, and reminds me of the Malcolm Perry era. Remember Malcolm Perry? Just was that 2016, I think. Um, with Blake Horvath uh, leading the midshipmen there. He has gained up a lot of ground, and he's got an air raid too. So Army better be ready. But these men get out there, and it doesn't matter. It's a battle. It's a battle, and it's fun to watch them play. I got my own. I've been analyzing both teams and scoring, and I because I do that with these two teams. I love this time of year in this game. Uh, so I've got my own prediction. Um, and the records are kind of on different ends of the spectrum: 6-5 versus 9-2. Uh, and you have that offensive explosion there with Navy, but you've also got a solid, fairly solid offense with the Army. But their defense has really done well in the last half of this season. So, I mean, it's the Army Navy game. Anything can happen. However, I shall make my prediction. Um, and I've got it at 31-24. That's my prediction. I'm looking over here. Steve Dakota. Steve popped on right away. He was like, "Go Navy, beat Army." Steve says 24-17. That's a good one. That's a good prediction. That is good. Yeah, 24-17. Um, Most of the analysts I see are picking Navy to win. There are a couple that are picking Army. I think Army's gonna shut Navy's offense down, and you know what? It could happen. It could happen, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Horvath is too strong, and if he's not going to get you on the ground, he's going to get you in the air. So I guess we'll find out tomorrow, won't we? Let's see. You guys have any other predictions here? I'm looking out here on. Steve said 24-17. I know we got some watchers on LinkedIn here. Let me get over to them. There they are. Let's see. Daryl says 28-17. Let's see if anybody's made a prediction on X. I really want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you think is going to happen. Um, like I said, I'm 31-24. But hey, I could be wrong. All right, let's go to X here and see if anybody's predicting anything out on X. Nope, nobody's made a prediction yet. Okay. Anyway, Army Navy game tomorrow, and I'll tell you the tailgating. The tailgating is so awesome at the Army Navy game. Um, it's the best out of any game you could go to all year. The Army Navy game is the best tailgating in the country all football year. Um, we've been there. We I think we've done three Army Navy games. Armed Forces Brewing Company and had tents there. Last year we and actually 2 years prior to that as well, we were with the Americans Wartime Museum guys and the Tank Farm guys. Dennis Brandt, Mark Searing, Adam, Gordon. I mean, we had a great time with them. And I remember 2 years ago, I think 3 years ago in Philly, I think we brought up 4 kegs, 4 or 5 kegs of beer. We had 2 kegs of Death from Above coffee porter. We had a keg of cat shot, and I'm trying to think what else we had there. We might have had a special hops there. I don't remember having a preamble there, a keg of preamble. I'm not sure if we even came. Yeah, we had come out with preamble. We might have had a keg of preamble there. Anyway, this is what I remember: 2 half barrel kegs. These are not sixtels, folks. These are half barrels that we brought up. Okay. And we got there at probably, I think around 7 a.m. We finally got to the spot. We got up at like 4, got to the stadium at 5:30 in the morning, and then waited in line to get in so we could get to our location. Got to our location, started setting up. I think we got set up by 9:30 probably. And remember, half barrel kegs, okay? And before you know it, the line started. We had the kegs rolling, and I think by 1:30, I know by 1:30, 2 kegs of Death from Above coffee porter were drained, gone. It's a lot of beer. Eddie Molina's watching. Eddie, my man, boy, he and I have been talking smack back and forth to each other on this. I didn't even serve. I'm just a big Navy football fan and have been since I was a kid. But Eddie's a veteran and he's an Army fan. Eddie says Navy will fumble late and give Army the lead. Army wins 31-28. Okay, all right. Your jersey misspelled Army. Oh my God. Good stuff. 31-28. We'll see about that one, Mr. Molina. We'll see. Anyway, so we 2 half barrel kegs were drained of coffee porter, and I got to tell you, it is a great beer. Um, and they started in the morning drinking that stuff. They started in the morning drinking that stuff. We've got to get that beer out to market. The Death from Above coffee porter. I mean, that happened at the Army Navy game, and that was actually the test batch. I think Bob made that at home. Our chief brewing officer made that at home. Great beer. Then we ended up taking that Death from Above coffee porter to Talladega as well for the Geico 500, and we had a trailer at there at the Geico 500. We had preamble and concessions, and we brought, I think we brought Grunt, Death from Above coffee porter. We brought we brought all the beer, special hops, preamble, cat shot. We brought all of them to Talladega. So I think we were there for 3 days, 2 or 3 days. And it's the funniest thing. People kept coming back to the tent. We're had music going and had the tent going all day, all night for people to come and taste the beer. And sometimes we'd run around, we'd take the pickup truck and go over to the main drag there and drive around. And I was on the microphone, Armed Forces Brewing Company preamble, and hand out samples and all that good kind of stuff. But what was funny about it was going back to going through 2 kegs of Death from Above coffee porter at the Army Navy game. Is it was 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m., and on our trailer door, 7:30 a.m. Hey, and if I remember right, it was a Sunday, too. Hey, what's going on? The sleep. Could we get some of that Death from Above coffee porter? we'd like we'd like to have some with our donuts. I about died. Of course you can. Of course you can. Just good stuff. It's a great beer, Death from Above coffee porter. It's a great beer, and we've got to get it out to market. I mean, I think it'll sell year round. I know your dark beers are seasonal, during the fall and winter months and everything. But hey, I'll tell you what, it's a good beer. It's year round. And I have people in the summertime. Where's that Death from Above coffee porter? I want some of that right now. Really? Okay. It's 102 degrees. I don't care. I want some. It's good. All right. If you're I'm looking at Facebook right now. So if you're on Facebook, comment in there. Comment in there. Give me your prediction on the Army Navy game. We're going to see. I'm going to write some of these down. Of course, it'll be preserved on social media. We'll see who comes closer, and then we'll talk about it in the next show here. Dave Howard says Navy 35, Army 14. Ooh. Anything is possible. All right. My friend Eddie, 31-28. He's got it mixed up, though. He says Army wins. I've got 31-24 Navy. Let's see what they got over. Nothing on X yet. Let's go back to LinkedIn here and see if anybody's commented there yet. No prediction there on score. Okay. You guys on Facebook, you're hot right now. All right. Anyway, somebody outside is having a massive they got a jam box in their car. I could feel the reverb coming through. All right. VIP or player of the game is definitely going to be, well, Blake Horvath. I'll bet it is. I'll bet he's going to be the player of the game. All right. Eddie Molina. Okay. Man, Army Navy game tomorrow. I am bummed I am not going to be there. All right. So as we this is the end of regular season, the Army Navy game. And then we get into the CFB playoffs and the playoff schedule. Man. Chaos, crisis this season. And I want to know what you guys think about it. Give me a comment here about the BCS council, picking council, whatever you call them, that picks the teams to be in the playoffs here. Good Lord. And I'm going to go through these games with you guys because I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? For instance, first of all, Notre Dame is not in the playoffs. Notre Dame. They're not in the playoffs. That was the big story. Um, but I'll tell you, James Madison, Tulane. My dad went to Tulane College down in New Orleans. My dad went to Tulane, and I believe he got kicked out of Tulane. And then I think he went to Nebraska. Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think he partied too hard down there. Anyway, so here's the matchups. Friday on the 19th, you've got Alabama at Oklahoma. That's a toss-up game right there. Um, I'm a first and foremost, even before Navy, I'm a Nebraska Cornhusker fan and have been at birth. It's in your DNA when you're born in Nebraska. They inject you with that go big red thing, uh, and you're automatically, you know. So I have no love for the Sooners, Oklahoma Sooners. Now, Major Ed Polito is a Boomer Sooner big time. He loves the Oklahoma Sooners, and I love Major Ed. So I try not to, out of respect for Major Ed Polito, I try not to ding Oklahoma, but I can't stand them, and and I have to admit that. Now, my other friends, two of my best friends, live in Tallahassee, that Tallahassee area, or in Florida, and one of them might be an alumni, but they are Florida State fans. That is the other team that I loathe, Florida State, the Seminoles, and that all this goes back to the 70s and the 80s. Oklahoma, Florida State beating Nebraska. Uh, you know, so man, there was not a better rivalry in college football than Nebraska Oklahoma every year, back especially in the 70s. Holy crap. Wow. Some great games there. Great games. Anyway, so Alabama Oklahoma, I think that's a toss-up game. I think man, I don't know. Alabama. Don't know who's going to show up. Depends. Miami and Texas A&M. I think Miami's going to win that game. I think they're going to win that game. Now, here we go. Tulane and Ole Miss. Gee, I wonder who's going to win that game. Sorry, Tulane fans, but Tulane and James Madison have zero uh, reason to be in the college football playoffs. Zero. They will be beat handily by Ole Miss. James Madison plays Oregon. Um, and, you know, it is what it is. We are all inclusive nowadays in the country, and Notre Dame left out um, of this. Anyway, Ole Miss is going to run over Tulane. Oregon's going to run over James Madison. And then you go on to the quarterfinals. Ohio State will be in that. Texas Tech. And, of course, Indiana, Georgia. And then the semifinals, January 8th and 9th. And then the national championship on January 19th, 2026. So we still got a good 2 months of football, or a month of football, month and a week of football coming up, college football. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know. James Madison uh, and Tulane. So go ahead, make some comments there, you guys. I'll talk off your comments. I love your comments here. Make some predictions uh, on the Army Navy game as well. I haven't seen besides Eddie Molina. I haven't seen any Army fans on here. Everyone else seems to be a Navy fan. Yep, Steve Dakota. He's a Navy fan. It's because I don't think the Army fans are really, you know, I don't think they're confident that they're going to win tomorrow on a 9-2 Navy team that is a offensive powerhouse. Anyway, all right. So that's the BCS stuff. Jeez, man. I don't know. Football. Football, football. All I know is football's awesome, and drinking beer, watching football is awesome, and tailgating is definitely awesome when you have beers. Okay. Predictions. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I'll read them as soon as I see them. Okay. Let's go on to another subject. This is a hot topic. It's a sad topic. It's not a happy topic, but it's a topic we need to talk about. And I've posted about it on LinkedIn this week and on Facebook. Not the Armed Forces Brewing Company Facebook, but it got my attention on LinkedIn when I was there. Um, and I didn't realize another veteran had taken his own life at the Audie Murphy VA Hospital Center in San Antonio. It was the second time there this year, from what I've read. It's the second time, right there in the parking lot. A 33-year-old Marine took his own life. And evidently that has happened at VAs all over the country. And I want to take my hat off to San Antonio. Tim Jensen with Grunt Style. He held a press conference there in San Antonio, and I mean, folks, we're losing 22 a day, and they're pulling right up to the VA and taking their own lives there. They are that to the brink. This country needs to do something about that. We need to put maximum resources toward it. And I know, there's tons of groups out there. We've done it ourselves here at Armed Forces Brewing Company with our AFBC Veterans Foundation, and just, privately as well. I know you think of us making beer and having fun and all that good kind of stuff. We do a lot of veteran outreach and have, but a lot of us, several of us, people that even used to work for the company, veterans, do a lot. They do a lot of veteran outreach and have talked some vets down from doing this. I've been on the phone at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning when veteran friends, when the demons come for them. Many times, many times, just to be an ear for that vet. And we prevented a couple. I did a podcast, I think last year. We had a SEAL, had a doctor and a sheriff's detective reach out to me. They gave me a call and they said, "Hey, we've got a buddy who's a former SEAL. He's been drinking a lot, and he's got guns, and he lost his job, and he's had a bad go of it. Can you help us?" Sure, of course, absolutely. I got on the horn and on email right away, and emailed a few of the organizations that I knew of that were run by SEALs, um, to make that connection, and let them know what was going on if they could reach out to their SEAL brother. And, it took a couple days to get through to people, but got her done. And this guy, this SEAL, got a trip to a rehab in Nevada, and he is doing great. I remember I was literally at Mar-Lago. Uh, I think it was 2022 at a golf tournament there. No, it's West Palm. It wasn't Mar-Lago. It's West Palm. West Palm International. Trump International. Yes, there's a Navy SEAL Foundation deal. Okay. Uh, they were raising money for the Navy SEAL Museum. Thank you. Yeah, and I actually gave that SEAL a call from there, and asked him how he was doing. He was doing great, bouncing back. Best thing ever happened to him. Little intervention, and got him the help that he needed. And there are a lot of organizations out there, that have great missions and do great work with veteran mental health. Um, and obviously, we need to do more. There needs to be more. What all the answers are, I don't know. Um, and I know we have committee. I know Congress has looked at it. They have committee meetings. I know um, state legislators have had committee meetings as well. They've had veterans come and testify on PTSD. Our friend Rob O'Neill is big on the ibogaine therapy. You've probably have seen uh, the in the Waves of War, the new documentary out on Netflix, where DJ Shipley and some other Navy SEALs take you literally to the ibogaine therapy treatment center in Mexico. You get to see what those veterans go through to get the ibogaine therapy. It's working for these veterans. I think Dakota Meyer's going there as well. There's a lot of other veterans, not just Navy SEALs, that are going to this therapy, and it's working for them enough that they are testifying before congressional committees. They're testifying before state committees as well, state legislation committees. Um, Here in Texas, Governor Greg Abbott's put $50 million with the help of former Governor Rick Perry, who's a big taking $50 million to try ibogaine therapy, with the goal in mind to get it legalized, get it passed through the FDA, get it legalized, and get treatment centers open here in the United States. Now, from what I've read, this therapy, Stanford University has put together a whole treatment program on this stuff. So I don't know what the answer is. I wish there would be another mass influx of professionals and veterans to Washington D.C. to talk about this again. Because that suicide rate is not going down. I don't believe. I need to read up. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'd have to read up on it. But to have, veterans pulling up to VA centers and taking their own lives, we've got to nip that in the bud, folks. These men and women go overseas, they put their lives on the line, and they are in the shit. When they say they're in the shit, they are in the shit. And they deserve assistance for this. Anyway, mental health, big topic, biggest topic in the military community, and it should be in our country as well. So, us as civilians, I'm definitely going to stay in the game, pitching in, helping when I can, And 2026, one of our mission goals is to get the foundation back up and running on all cylinders and really dive into um, education and resources as well. Education for the public and resources for veterans and military families, because the quality of life, we're going to focus on the quality of life for veterans. Ibogaine therapy, which is obviously working. Service dogs, which is another great tool helping a lot of veterans out there with PTSD. Uh, Stem cell therapy is a big. We've been looking into that as well. We've been connected with some major players in the stem cell therapy for service related injuries. So those quality of life things for veterans, whatever we can do. We're just not making beer. We're going to do some other stuff too. Um, I've spent I finally branded our NA beer line as well. I've got it branded now. I've got the cans. I've got two lagers. I've got one light lager, one amber lager, one IPA, and a stout. Those are going to be in our non-alcoholic beer line. But I finally got it branded. And we've done some taste tests with the NA beer recipes that we have. Probably some of you have had it actually, but we want to get, there's veterans that, and there's people that should not be drinking alcohol. They can't. Maybe they have severe PTSD. Maybe they're on medications. So our mission is to get this non-alcoholic beer portfolio out there and get that launched in 2026. And I'm telling you, we've already. Oh gosh, I think we did. We'll have to get Bob on here sometime. I think we did 4 beers. I think we sent 4 beers for dealcoholization to a company, and they draw all of the alcohol out. They draw the alcohol out. It's like it's 0.03%. Or 0.3%, 0.03%, something like that. It draws the alcohol out. Anyway, and the alcohol, they put it back into a keg for you, the alcohol. And that's the base for hard seltzers, too. You can use it for that. But anyway, we had Preamble, and we had Cat Shot, and we had Special Hops, and I think we had our Marzen dealcoholized. And the Cat Shot came back absolutely fucking delicious. So delicious, the Preamble came back good too. But the Cat Shot dealcoholized was incredible. We went out and bought, I think, 9 of the leading brands of NA beer. Heineken Zero, Bud Light Zero. We bought Athletic, 1 or 2 of their SKUs, and some other ones. And grabbed some veterans from the Navy Yard. And we did a taste test. And everyone loved the Cat Shot. Dealcoholized, the non-alcoholic lager. Everyone loved it. It was delicious. It was better. It was better than all those brands I just mentioned there. It was better. So we canned that stuff up. We canned the Preamble. We canned the Cat Shot. This is non-alcoholic. We put it in plain cans and took it up to an event in Washington, D.C. It was an American Legion event, and in D.C. Took it up there, and there were 500 people at this convention, and a bunch of Congress people from the Armed Services Committee was there. Derek Van Orden was there. Matter of fact, he jumped behind the bar and started pouring his own draft beer. I've got it on video even. He got up there and started pouring his own draft. This is really good. This non-alcoholic beer because we brought it in draft, and he absolutely loved it. Anyway, we took it up there. Everybody loved the NA beer, and then we took cans. We had cans down to the Army Navy game. And we had it at our tent with the Americans in Wartime Museum guys. We had them there. And we had EJ Snyder from Freedom Pickles, who was on the show last week. He was there. And we had it there, and everybody loved it there as well. It's non-alcoholic beer, you guys. I don't know about you, but I haven't, it's been a while since I picked one up and went, ooh, that's really good for an NA beer. You know what I mean? Being a beer drinker. And for people to open up the NA beer right away and go, hey, and not even telling them it's NA beer. Some we told, some we didn't tell because that's what we're doing when we're doing a taste test. We're skewing or not telling the whole deal and waiting for them to go, oh, that's really good. What is that? It's non-alcoholic beer, dude. What? So anyway, we've got a good NA beer product, and I think we're going to be making some very good NA beers out there. So they're coming. It's a mission for 2026. It's a mission, and like I said, I finished the branding on the cans. When we get closer to that, I will unveil. I got to show shareholders first, but we'll unveil the branding of the cans, the non-alcoholic beer cans. I like them. I think they're cool. But and I passed it around. You know, we have focus groups that take a look at this stuff. Veterans and other folks take a look at this stuff. Anyway, all right. We got some comments in here. Go Army, beat Navy. William Mayer, thank you. Finally, somebody. Are you all relocating to Texas? Well, I'll tell you what. I am in Texas, and I am here because we are going to launch our brand here in Central Texas. Relaunch, actually, through Keg One O'Neill Distributors. Miller Coors distributor. So we're going to hit that Central Texas alleyway, which goes south and then over west a little bit, and then goes down south, loops around, and goes down south. And it's funky territory. And we're going to relaunch, focusing down at Fort Hood. And we're going to relaunch with Preamble and Grunt. Double IPA. Good stuff. Very good stuff. And just kind of make our way back. Dallas area, yes, we will have it there. You know, I met with my friend who is in charge. He is in charge too of the Armed Services Bowl here in Fort Worth. I'm actually in Fort Worth, John Casey, DFW area. My friend, he is the man in charge of the Armed Services Bowl, which is a great bowl they put on. He has been trying to get our beer there for 3 or 4 years. And it's being played just not far from where I live. So I would see, not this year, but hopefully next year we'll have our beer at the Armed Services Bowl. Next year, we're working on it. Obviously, we're trying to resurrect and rise and come back after a very bad experience. Very bad. Um, anyway, so we're looking at that. Texas getting Texas open. But we got, a lot of you were asking, when's the beer coming? How can I get the beer? How can I get the beer? Awesome. Love it. I have, and I said this, I think, at the top of the show. I had a discussion with our one of our shipping partners today. They actually have licensing to ship to 45 states in DC. So more people are going to be able to try the beer. So we've got a lot of announcements to make here in the next week. It looks like we're going to be packaging that beer next week. It better be next week. I'll tell you what. We've waited way long enough. Beer was supposed to be out back in October. October. To be ready for Veterans Day. Didn't happen. We're contract brewing. Didn't happen. Did not happen. Pissed me off. And I'm pissed right now because I really wanted our beer packaged this week. Jersey coming at ya. Barry Morgenstein. He's a player. He's yeah. Yes, New Jersey, you're screaming for beer. I got to tell you, you know what? We can talk about that. We can talk about that. New Jersey. What the fuck is going on in New Jersey? I've been trying to get our beer into New Jersey for over 2 years. I've talked to every distributor there. I didn't know if it was a political thing. We have a lot of shareholders in New Jersey. We have a huge fan base in New Jersey. They love beer in New Jersey. We have a good product. I am proud of our beer. We wouldn't have been picked up by all these distributors if our product was shitty. So I've talked to the distributors up there. I don't know what it is about Jersey. We've been trying to crack that egg for a long time. And frankly, our friends in New Jersey are getting pissed off at these distributors. So I've had 1, 2, 3. I've had 5 friends now. I got 5 boots on the ground people in Jersey right now that are paying distributors visits. It's all nice stuff, believe me. But I've talked to most of the Miller Coors distributors there. I've talked to most of the Budweiser distributors there. I've talked to a couple independent craft distributors up there. There is, and they all work together. They all work together, man. If you nail one Budweiser distributor, all of them will sign you up. If you nail one Miller Coors distributor, all of them will sign you up. Okay? But you want statewide distribution. And I've talked to them. There's some cannibalization going on up there in Jersey as well. There's bigger distributors buying up smaller distributors and mergers going on and all that good kind of stuff. And when you get caught in that kind of stuff, I had one distributor 6 months ago that wanted to pick us up, but they just acquired another distributor and they have all this inventory there. So they were a little timid in bringing us on right away. New Jersey, that'd be a great state to be in. Great. We're brewing in Pennsylvania. Open up Jersey. Start making your way. You get distribution in Jersey before you know it. New York, making your way. Massachusetts. We've got a couple contract brewing partners we could partner with right now up in Massachusetts. Start your own New Jersey yeah. A veteran with a truck. Your beer only. Rob Locke. He's not. That's a great idea. That is a great idea. We can't do it. We can't do it. Probably because of laws. But somebody else could. That'd be great. A couple of veterans want to start a distribution company. 2 men in a truck up there. Get a distribution license up there. Thanks, Rob. Up in Jersey, we'll be your first frickin' client. We'll be your forever client up there. And Jersey is not a. It's not a chain state. You can't. Walmarts don't carry beer. I don't think the grocery stores carry beer there. They don't. But I remember when I was checking out Jersey. Whew, I think this was 2015, 2015, 2014, something like that. I went into Jersey and South Jersey. I was in Atlantic City, and then I was in Barnegat for a couple days, Barnegat, New Jersey, and hit all the cities, the towns, and everything, all the way up the coast there, all the way up to Asbury Park, where I went to the beer garden there up in Asbury Park. And I stopped at bars and restaurants all along the Jersey Shore from Atlantic City on up, and draft beer all over the place. And I saw Sweet Baby Jesus on draft at every bar I stopped into. Sweet Baby Jesus, chocolate peanut butter porter on draft from Duclaw, in a Maryland product. Saw it in every bar I stopped at. And I was like, man, I want to get Armed Forces Brewing Company beer on every draft, in every bar along in New Jersey. So anyway, we're gonna crack that nut in New Jersey. If you want to join the New Jersey militia of Armed Forces Brewing Company, let me know. I would love to know. I want you to start making some calls and some drive-bys to distributors in Jersey talking about Armed Forces Brewing Company. I want to get up into that state badly. It's a great stepping stone. We'd have Pennsylvania covered, in Jersey, and start creeping up and over. Good mission there. Jersey. It's funny. Shore Point distributors in Jersey, they wouldn't bring our beer on. Shore Point. I think they're a Miller Coors distributor. They wouldn't bring our beer, but God damn it, they brought on Kelsey Grammer's Faith beer brand. They brought on Kelsey Grammer, his Faith beer brand. Brought him on. I don't know how it's doing. I haven't looked at it for a while. I need to take a look, but anyway, interesting stuff. Jersey. Join the Armed Forces Brewing Company New Jersey militia. Jersey, hello. All right, good stuff there. Anyway, we're working on it, folks. Getting the company back up and rolling, getting the beer out, getting debt paid off, and getting, things going. If we can make that happen and succeed in that, we've got a lot of missions to go on for this company that we were hoping that we would be already in and executed those missions. The NA beer is the big one. That's a big one. Getting Death from Above Coffee Porter out. We had other SKUs that we wanted, or other styles that we wanted to get out as well. And those, I'll tell you what, those guys, we were making some really good beer at that brewery in Norfolk, Virginia. turning out some good beers. Turning out some good ones. Anyway, that little group in Norfolk there, they got a Christmas present Monday. They're getting one. Anyway, Army-Navy game. We'll close it up with that tomorrow. Big game. Army-Navy. All right. My prediction again, I will state my prediction. It's going to be 31-24. Navy is going to win this game tomorrow. But you know how that goes. We'll see. A lot of good predictions out there. We're all around in that same ballpark there. In the 30s and the 20s. So watch it be a low. Watch. We're all up there in the 30s and the 20s for the score, and it's going to be 10-3. Anything can happen in an Army-Navy game. Anything. All right. So 2026. It's the end of the year. 2026 is coming. We've got a lot of things to be thankful for and looking forward to. And yeah, Rob Block 3-9. There you go. 3-9. Okay. So anyway, 2026 coming up. We don't quit. We do not quit. If we were quitters, if I was a quitter, if we were quitters at Armed Forces Brewing Company, this wouldn't have started. We would never be here. We would never have started the company because we don't quit. And we're going to fight. And we're going to pay our debts, and we are going to fight this bullshit these bullshit people in Norfolk, Virginia. It's coming. Their day is coming. It's coming. And there's 11,000 people that are about to fight back as well. Tired of the defamation and the slander and all that kind of shit. So we're fighting. They got another thing coming. Anyway, all right. The NA beer is a big mission. Talked about that. If you didn't know, we have an opportunity to open a taproom foodery in Florida. We've had a major development firm there come to us. They've been talking to us for a long time. I actually went to Florida and toured their development, and that's when Governor Youngkin called me on the phone when I was there touring. They wanted to have an Armed Forces brewing facility there forever. I think, gosh, I can't remember. They may have had like 800, 900 residents when I was there touring. Now they have 15,000. They've got a second or third Publix moving in. I think it's second. And this development is just booming there. And they want an Armed Forces Brewing Company tap room. They want a microbrew. Little 3-barrel system with a tap room and a restaurant. And I know, because I've been contacted from people all over the country back in the day when we first started this, wanting. We've had lots of inquiries. Do you have a franchise model? Gosh, people in Washington, Colorado Springs is one I remember. Somebody in Texas and somebody in Alabama too. Wanted an Armed Forces Brewing Company taproom restaurant, foodery. Call them fooderies. San Diego. Yeah, that would be a great place too. That would be a great place. San Diego. San Diego, we've I'm looking forward to opening up the California market slowly there. San Diego is very saturated with breweries there. And I know some have closed, but God, what a great military area that is as well. Um, Thanks, Steve. Midway Veterans Association support you. Thank you, Steve. Rob, we do if we when we are ready financially to contract brew in San Diego, we have somebody to contract brew in San Diego. There will be a cost of doing business there in California, obviously, and getting started up there and everything. But to open up, there gradually, stay close in San Diego, and gradually make our way up California and over to Arizona, that would be great because I know we have a lot of shareholders in Arizona area as well and California. And it's just a great military community there in San Diego as well. So lots of things that we could do. Anyway, 2026, I'll give you more updates and we'll talk about it more on the show here at the Red Friday podcast about the non-alcoholic beer because the next shows, we've got about 10 outlines done for shows here. I mean, we're gonna bring hopefully O'Neill on here to talk about ibogaine and some other veterans that are doing ibogaine therapy. We're going to talk about and bring some experts in the stem cell therapy as well that are helping veterans with service related injuries. This stem cell therapy, it's working. It's working. I have friends that are veterans that are doing it, that have been doing it. It's working for them. It is raising the quality of their life after service. So we got a show on those things coming up. I'm excited. Joe Thompson says, "Where in Florida?" I can't say yet, Joe. It's developing, but I'll let everybody know. We've got it. This thing is just. I'm excited about this. We've got a show coming up. We're trying to get some really good guests on for this show. We're going to talk about the UAPs, the UFOs things, because in the last 4 years, I mean, the cat's out of the bag. We've got whistleblowers, congressional meetings, SCIF meetings. The Navy, the DOD coming out, and I think it's a game changer for society, the world, and I think it's an interesting topic. It's something I've been interested since I was a kid. My dad was in the Air Force, lieutenant colonel. He was head of navigation for the 139th Tactical Air Command, Airlift Wing, Tactical Air Command, whatever, in St. Joe, Missouri Air National Guard, and he would never talk to me about this, but he encouraged me to read about it. But he would never say anything to me. And on the show, I'll tell you a story about my 13th birthday present I got from my dad. It involves UFOs and UAPs, whatever. I'll talk about that on the show when we do the show on the UAPs. But I want to get some good experts on the show for the UFO thing. Hell, that might be a 2-hour show. You never know. Anyway, we'll do that too. I'm looking at your comments here. Yeah. We're in Florida. I can't tell you yet. Anyway. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Red Friday Podcast. I know this is really ad-libbing and all that kind of stuff, but I'm going to get a co-host on here with me. We're going to grow this thing. It's kind of our beer community thing. We've got beer coming out, and as soon as we can get our hands on the fresh, brand new Preamble Light Session Lager product coming out that's supposed to be packaged, we're going to be drinking it here on the show and telling you guys where you can order it. Eddie, I love the fact you're talking about UFOs. I'm looking to schedule an interview with Lou. That's one person we'd like to get on, Lou Elizondo. We'd like to get him on. We would like to get him on. Chris Mellon, we'd like to get him on. And see. I knew that name. Joe Franciscini. Joe Franciscini. Will bottles be available someday? Joe likes bottles. You know what, Joe? Maybe someday. Not right now. Not in the near future. We're contract brewing, so margins can get thin, and bottles are more expensive than cans. It's kind of a beer tastes the same in a can or a bottle, to tell you the truth. But for me, I'm with you, Joe. I like beer out of a bottle more than I like beer out of a can. There's something about it. It's not the taste. I think it's more of the temperature of it. I think bottles give beer a crispness that a can doesn't. But I don't think it tastes any better than a can product. But there's something also about the experience of the cold bottle in your hand and up to your lips. I'm just saying. But I drink beer out of cans, just. So that's why we haven't done bottles yet. Not yet. Thanks, Joe. But that's a great question, and I matter of fact, I think I did a snippet for the show just like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. That I had gotten a lot of questions out. Are you going to put it in bottles? Anyway, someday we'll do the bottle thing. We will do the bottle thing. All right. Anyway. That's our show for Red Friday. Like I said, I know this is kind of ad lib, but we're going to grow this, get a little community going here online. And I just want to thank all of our veterans out there and their families, our active duty military members as well. Our law enforcement officers, holy crap. A big, big thank you to you as well. Law enforcement, police officers, first responders, fire, EMT. A big thank you to all of you too. I know there's a lot of crap going on around the country. Border Patrol agents, ICE agents, man, thank you for your service to America as well. No matter what side of the aisle you're on that, I'm not trying to be political, but we've got law enforcement putting themselves in harm's way big time. And, man, it's just they're amazing people. They are why we did this. I started this stuff with the guys. Anyway, have a great weekend. Christmas is coming. The Armory store is online, www.thearmory1776.com. It's up and going. You can get our gear there. And we've got some new stuff. We're in hoodie season. So there's some new hoodies on there that we didn't have before. I think there's going to be some more hoodies going up and T-shirts going up and long sleeve shirts as well. There's beanies on there. We've got the camo hoodies now and camo beanies, and there's going to be some other cool stuff going on there. Anyway, I will see you next Friday. Thanks, you guys. It was fun, and go Navy, beat Army.
With